Hey guys, and welcome to the Polish American Brotherhood. Thank you for joining us on our stream tonight. I am joined by my father.
Marian Szczepański from Polish American Brotherhood.
And in the studio, we got Marky.
Hello, everyone.
Hey. So, Dad, what's going on?
Well, today I would like to talk a little bit about Poland because we are Polish American Brotherhood, but we never talk anything about Poland. So I would like to mention about little bit about history in Poland, and I'm sure you guys gonna be a little bit interested what I have to say about Poland.
Very enthusiastic. Please educate us.
Okay, not everybody knows what is the biggest castle in Poland.
I think it's also the biggest castle in the world, no?
It is the biggest castle maybe in the world, but I would say it's the biggest castle in Europe. And the name is Malbork. So I try to a little bit educate you about how the castle was built and who built it, and is right now in Poland, northeast of Poland. And me and Tara, we went over there, so we know what looks like. And if anybody wants to know a little bit about history, how the castle was built, okay, it started when one of the Polish princes brought the Crusades. Everybody, I think, know about Crusades because that is in a big history when Crusades came back from the Holy Land, Jerusalem, and they had been looking for a place to settle. And one of the Polish princes invited them, they gave them the piece of land, and eventually the Crusades built that castle Malbork. So it took a little bit time, but eventually they start getting bigger and bigger and become a threat to Lithuania and Poland. So eventually in 1410, Polish king, which actually was Prince of Lithuania, together with his uncle Witold, organized a big battle against the Crusades. And the name where they meet Crusades in Poland, it calls Grunwald. And at that time, the Crusades was so strong, more advanced than Polish military, but Polish king, he was actually Lithuanian, he knew already how to fight because of the Mongols who was coming to area like Ukrainian and Poland. And everybody know who was Genghis Khan when they entered the east, actually the west of which was Poland. They Lithuanian and Polish military learned how to fight the Genghis Khan army. So that helped, to fight the Crusades. And even the Crusades was most advanced in military. In the 1410, 10 of July, they knocked the Crusades out in a battle. And also I can say the king of Crusades also died in that battle. So basically the Malbork later became still occupied by the Crusades, but they never been a threat anymore to Poland or Lithuania. And after the Second World War, the Poland got the land of the east and the north of Poland, which Malbork became a Polish castle. That's basically the history of it.
I'm trying to go through because I know that we did a live when we were there, I believe. Live walk around.
I'm gonna try to any time when we do the live stream a little bit say about Poland and history because it's very interesting and not everybody knows about the Polish history because mostly of people been interested what's happened in France, what happened in England, Spain, because that's what was most interesting to conquer the world and create the colonies, you know, coming to America by Christopher Columbus and Portugal's mostly dominated South America and English, Britain or United Kingdom conquered the North America. And French got a little bit like the area of Quebec now. So that's why small country like England, now we speak English all over the world. And this is the main language, international language. Even one of the Polish guys tried to create international language, which they call Esperanto, but somehow people didn't want to learn. Everybody knows already how to speak English, so they didn't want to learn the international language, which was created by Esperanto.
Gotcha. I was trying to find the live that we had done there, but I didn't know we were going to talk about Malbrook, so I can't find it. We've done so many lives on this channel already, so it's buried deep, deep in there. But yes, I remember our visit when we went to Malbrook Castle, and I do believe it's the largest in the world. UNESCO World Heritage, history of the Crusades, as Dad was saying. So it's a pretty awesome site. We were based in, I think we were in Warsaw the day that we took the train to go over there. Yeah, during one of our trips.
To Malbork, and I think Tara enjoyed that trip. You know, it was very interesting seeing the biggest castle. Even if I born and raised in Poland, that was my also first trip to Malbork.
I think you did more travels around Poland when I was with you to go around.
I guess.
I think I was there for 5 years. I don't think I ever even went to Malbork, however you say it. I definitely went to the castle in Krakow. That was the castle, right?
Yeah.
That one was really nice.
Well,
I think Krakow is really beautiful.
You mentioned about Krakow, of course. Not everybody heard about what's the Krakow. Krakow was actually second capital of Poland because first capital of Poland was Gniezno, which was a little bit north of Poland, but then they make the Krakow capital. And
you remember the salt mines?
in 16th century, they moved the capital from Krakow to Warsaw. And
What's the
also
reason? What's the reason why they moved the capital?
Oh, why? Actually, we had a Swedish king named Vasa, and if you're gonna look on that castle in Poland, there is a statue, and that's a king.
Mermaid, right?
Yeah, it's his statue. Swedish king, which became a Polish king, and his name was Vasa. I think he was thinking that he also gonna be a Swedish king, and he wants to be closer to Sweden. That was probably the reason he moved to Warsaw. But Warsaw started becoming more popular at that time than even Krakow, and I think that was the reason also to bring the capital from Krakow to Warsaw.
Mark, you were with us when we went to the salt mines, right?
I was there.
You were there. Do you remember like that there's like a church inside of the salt mines?
The name of the salt mine is a Wieliczka. It's very old salt mine. I think it became like 13th century, and you saw it how you can get to that underground, and people always were scared that something can happen. That's why they built
Makes you claustrophobic, right?
Inside the mine, salt mine.
Where I like to go when I'm in that area of Krakow and all that, I like to go to Zakopane. I think Zakopane is very beautiful.
Let me look up Zakopane. I haven't been to Zakopane.
I recommend it in the wintertime. If you're able to go, check it out. Definitely check it out.
That's like in the mountains,
It's
no?
the mountains. It's not too far
Yeah,
from
it's
Krakow.
Zakopane is mostly close to the Czech border, and it's like in a valley. It's very popular because of the ski resort, and mostly the most popular if the people in summertime going to the beach in the Baltic Sea. In the winter time, Zakopane is the most popular place where people like to go.
They have like hotels over there with pools, and the pool will be inside, but then you can go outside, like in the same pool. It connects to the outdoors, and it'll be snowing around, and you can get out the water. You know, it's really cold in the snow, but it's really beautiful also.
It's a ski town.
I was
Definitely.
only one time in Zakopane, and even was I would say very freezing temperature. I didn't feel that because the air is very dry over there. It's in a higher elevation, you know, and there's a beautiful view on the here they call it Giewont, which they have also cross on the top of that Giewont, and a lot of people go over there, you know. And you know, everybody think about the statue of Jesus Christ in
Brazil.
Rio de Janeiro, but the biggest of statue of Jesus Christ is in Poland. You know?
Yeah.
And they it's close to the they built like a basilica church because there was something wonder happened over there, you know, so they built a church. The name is Konin. So Konin is very popular now about the pilgrimage going over there, you know. But the most popular pilgrimage place is Częstochowa. The reason is the most because this is like what you would say
Astrologer, right?
Huh?
Was he an astrologer?
That's you're thinking of Copernicus.
Yeah, I'm
Who's
trying to
also
remember. I know I went to
Polski.
Częstochowa. I got
church, yeah. And it became very popular because when the Swedish came to Poland, invade Poland for 5 years, one place was didn't beat it was Częstochowa. They never could step foot in that church. So this is the Black Madonna, what they call, protect the church from the Swedish invasion.
All right. Actually, I'll go ahead and pull up one of our old videos of here in the Polish American Brotherhood. This is a couple years old, but it's a 10 facts about Poland.
Oh, at that time I was still good looking, handsome, right?
Oh, you've always been handsome, Dad.
You look the same to me.
So many years passed, you know. Look at that with the red tie.
Oh, let's put us on this.
But whoever look at me on my old age, okay, I have an excuse
On
because I'm
today's show of the Polish
76, now
American
going on
Brotherhood,
77.
we have 10 interesting
There, you got this.
facts about Poland you probably do not know.
These facts can make your trip to Poland way more interesting. Here are weird and interesting facts about Poland and things about Poland that most people don't know. Like, Poland is the 9th largest country in Europe.
We will start with that as a bonus fact. Poland is the 9th largest country in Europe, 8th, not including Russia. Poland is not a small country.
Such a
It's
corny
actually
video.
one of the largest ones. Poland is bigger than Italy and the United Kingdom.
Hope you enjoy the following 10 facts. Number 1. Polish history is very complicated. If you're a fan of Game of Thrones, you might start reading Polish medieval history. You'll get confused many times. Try reading something on the period between 1138 and 1320. Later times also haven't been easy for Poland. The country has been invaded or has fought for freedom in insurrections over 40 times.
Actual
Poland even
insurrections,
disappeared from
not
world
January
maps in
6th.
1772 and 1795.
Number 2. Poland's constitution was the second in the world and the first in Europe. Poland adopted its first written constitution in the spring of 1791, which was the second in the world valid legal document of the kind. However, it was only in effect for only 14 months and 3 weeks before Poland was in partition for over 100 years.
Number 3. Marie Curie was actually Polish. Marie Curie, the woman who discovered elements polon and rad, wasn't French, but Polish. Her name was Marie Skłodowska before she married a Frenchman named Pierre Curie.
The Polish don't get as
She
much
was the
credit
first
as they
woman
should.
to win a Nobel Prize. The first
Everyone thinks that
person
Marie
and
Curie
only
is
woman to win it
French.
twice.
No, she's
And
actually
the only
Polish.
person to win a Nobel Prize in 2 different sciences.
Number 4. Traditional Polish last name change depending on if you are boy or a girl.
Oh,
Names
I remember actually what happened when I was in Poland one time, and then I go by Szczepański because here in the U.S. we don't have gendered last names. In Poland you do, so I would be Szczepańska, and so I gave my name at a gym, and they assigned me in the locker room. They assigned me to the boys' locker room because I said Szczepański. But yeah, so that's an interesting thing. I think the first time I realized there were gendered last names was when I was in the cemetery for Babcia. For Babcia's funeral, and then I was reading through the tombstones, and I'm like, why do husbands and wives have different last names? So it's gendered last names.
that end with the ski, ska, or ska, ski work like adjectives and need to match the gender in Polish. So, if your father's name is Szczepański, if you are a female, you will be called Szczepańska. All Polish surnames in the US are a male version.
5. Poland used to have the world's tallest structure. The Warsaw Radio Mast in Constantinople was the world's tallest structure from 1974 until it collapsed in 1991. It was the second tallest structure ever built after Burj Khalifa in Dubai, completed in 2010. The mast was 646 meters or 2,120.7 feet tall.
Number 6. Poland also has the world's biggest castle.
There you go.
There you
Poland
go.
has an impressive 16 World Heritage Sites, and among them the biggest castle in the world, Malbork. Measured
There you go,
by
Marlborough
the
Castle,
area,
Dad.
Prague Castle often claims to be the world's largest, but it's not, since it's not a single area.
7. You can still eat at the Europe's oldest restaurant located in Wysow. The Piwnica
We ate there,
Świdnicka
right? Yeah. We ate there when we were there.
is the oldest restaurant in Europe, and it's been open since 1275. So you can still eat there today. Actually, I was there in 2018.
Oh yeah.
Number 8. Paul celebrates a name day.
That was always
In
interesting to me.
addition to
Did you have a name
birthdays,
day?
Yeah, there's Marek is a Polish name.
Yeah, because not all names are Polish names. So what happens, Marky? What happens when you got somebody who doesn't have a Polish name? They just don't
No
get a
name
celebration.
day.
No
Yeah,
name day.
too bad.
They get no celebration.
Well, the thing is, some of the Polish names are very popular, like Janina, Joseph, Jan.
How about
Also-
Marian? Is there a?
It's not that much popular.
But do you have a
Even-
name day?
Yeah, we do have a name day, but
Marian's got a name day.
Maria is August 15, which actually connecting to the Jesus Mother, and that's why it's very popular.
One Polish name that always stuck out to me was Michał, which is Michael. I always thought that was an interesting one.
Poles celebrate their name day or imieniny, which is the day celebrating the same day are named after. The names associated with each day is listed in all calendars in Poland. So the name
What's your name day, Dad?
is often more important.
What
than
date
a
is your name
birthday.
day?
because
I don't even
everyone
remember.
remembers about
Don't
it.
nobody celebrate
Most
my
popular
name.
names are Janina,
But one thing though
which
is if you're gonna have a party,
Janina,
right?
which
So if you have a couple friends named Piotrek or Mihao, you got to choose which one you're gonna spend the day with, right? It's your favorite one.
Which one's your favorite friend?
Yeah.
They're celebrating them all together. Everybody gets the same birthday.
celebrate on June 24, and Joseph, which is celebrate on March 19. Maria is also popular and celebrate on August 15.
Now you
Number
know.
9. Buying an even number of flowers for funerals is considered a faux pas. On the other
French.
hand, chrysanthemums, white lilies, and red carnations are considered the funeral flowers, so make sure that you don't buy them for other occasions. Some people can take this very seriously.
Never knew that.
Number 10. Poland is one of the most religious countries in Europe. Poland does have a popular Catholic TV station and Catholic radio. Religion also is not separate from the state. Not to mention that Poland is proud owner of the tallest statue of
There you
Jesus
go.
in the
See?
world.
Everyone thinks it's
Monument of Christ the King is in Świebodzin, Poland.
Yeah,
Świebodzin.
Along
You say
with
that?
Świebowice,
its
yeah.
mount,
Okay.
it reaches 52.
Brazil gets all the credit.
That means 172 feet overall.
Move over, Christ the Redeemer. Thank you for joining us on this segment of the Polish American Brotherhood.
We hope you learned something new about Poland. Hit the subscribe button and don't be shy to give us a like. Thank you.
Dziękuję.
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 Dziękuję bardzo.
Dad, I think your camera skills have quite improved over the years. Now you're nailing down that like, share, subscribe. A little bit more natural on camera, eh?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna be improving all the time. We are on the air, and I hope we're gonna gain a lot of friends. So I hope you guys wish us luck, okay, with these programs, because we're gonna try to not only that we educate you, but inform you what's happening in Poland and also in United States. And one of the problems which United States have, it is a crime which was creative and nobody was doing anything about it till President Trump came, and now we have to support him to fight the crime. And I don't know if everybody heard what happened in South Florida with the congresswoman, which was just charged with the stealing $5 million. Can you imagine? $5 million. Making illegal campaign contribution. Her name was, I can just tell the first name, I don't want to use the last name. Her name was Sheila. Okay, so you know how much President Trump have now to do, just spend time not only internationally with the tariffs, but also fighting the crime in United States and also with the Venezuela, Colombia, or Mexico. Now, the government in Mexico is so corrupt that even president of Mexico, she's scared of the cartels now. So President Trump tried to assist her with the military, but we cannot do officially that we can invade and do the job for the Mexican military. They should be the one who knock. Like in El Salvador, you see, they got a new president. He knocked all the mafia or whatever the cartels, gangs, MS-13 down and make the country safe. That's what we have to see in Mexico or Colombia or Venezuela.
Yeah, I pulled up a little newsreel for everyone. But the House Democrat charged with stealing $5 million of FEMA funds. So let's check out the story.
From Fox, we continue to bring you some of the day's biggest top stories and headlines. We do have some breaking news that we want to bring to you regarding a member of Congress. We are learning from South Florida tonight. U.S. Rep. Sheila Sherfless McCormick of
Taking all the
Florida
hurricane
has
money.
been indicted on charges accusing her of stealing $5 million in federal disaster funds and using some of the money to aid her 2021 campaign, the Justice Department said today. The Democrat is accused of stealing a federal emergency management agency overpayments that her family healthcare company and received through a federally funded COVID-19 vaccination staffing contract, federal prosecutors said. A portion of the money was then funneled to support her campaign through candidate contributions, prosecutors allege.
Isn't this also like the kind of
Relief
stuff
funds
that that Doge was discovering, like to fraud, waste, and abuse?
More than likely.
Yeah, like the FEMA funds
Enrichment
and
is a
USAID.
particularly selfish, cynical crime. The Attorney General Pam Bondi said in a statement, "No one is above the law, least of all powerful people who rob taxpayers for personal gain. We will follow through the facts in this case and deliver justice." A phone message left at McCormick's Washington office was not immediately returned. But again, we will be keeping an eye on this for you right here on Live Now from Fox. You saw the report there from the New York Post there as the Democratic Florida lawmaker that has been indicted. Bill Melugin, our very own Bill Melugin of Fox News, saying this on X with the breaker. DOJ charges Congresswoman Sheila Sherfless McCormick,
Faces
a
up to
Democrat
53
from Florida,
years
with
in
stealing
prison.
$5 million in FEMA funds, laundering the proceeds, and then using the money to support her 2021
Hope she saved some for a good lawyer.
Yeah. 3 years in prison if convicted.
Probably gonna steal another 5 million to get her out from the prison. Once they know how to do that, they keep going.
DOJ says Sherfless McCormick, who's 46, and her brother Edwin Sherfless, 51, both of Miramar, worked through their family health care company on a FEMA-funded COVID-19 vaccination staffing contract back in 2021. In July of that year, the company received an overpayment of $5 million in FEMA funds. So that indictment just coming down by a DOJ earlier today. The Attorney General, Pam Bondi, again, is saying in a statement, "No one is above the law, least of all powerful people who rob taxpayers for personal gain. We will follow the facts in this case and..."
How about that? What are your thoughts on that, Mark?
I think there's a lot of corruption in politics.
Yeah,
Not
we
surprised.
hear what happening with the sheriff here, that he ran the cartels here, right, for own benefits. There was another one, I think, when they found the drugs in a governor office in Minnesota or something.
Oh,
I think
yeah, I
that was
remember
in
that one.
Maine, right?
Yeah.
Or
Maine
Massachusetts.
or Massachusetts.
I'm sorry.
One of those states that start with an M.
There's a lot of police being caught working with the cartels as well, even in Florida and Colorado and California, I believe, too. I have to look into that.
Well, I'm sure by the time the Trump's gonna be the last day of in office, he's gonna probably do all the criminals, either deport them or
Deport the criminals. How about if they're from here?
jail or something,
Well, that one guy that, what was his name? The one that everyone said was MS-13 got sent away. Isn't he now, instead of being in El Salvador, isn't he in prison in Ghana or something like that?
Yeah, because he was in El Salvadorian national, but he had a stop order from being deported to El Salvador, so he was still sent there, and then now they took him out of El Salvador and they put him in Ghana. I'm not sure which one he would rather be in though.
Yeah, one of the Democratic senators wasted the money just to visit him and drink margarita with him.
Yeah, that guy.
So stupid, I mean, I don't understand why the Democrats, protecting the criminals. They should consider what to do good for America, not just to protect the criminals. So I'm sorry, I got pissed off because of the situation the Democrats creating in the beautiful country of America.
I mean, it's just sow the seeds of like chaos, because if they solve a problem, nobody's going to need them. So it's, what's that concept in like Batman? They have to keep the chaos going in order to be like needed in society. So that's what the Democrats are doing. Same thing as, when it comes to like homelessness or like food shortages, they're the ones promising to give away everything for free. So people will vote for them in order to get free stuff. But there's no such thing as a free lunch now, huh? So they got to keep those problems there.
I believe they are receiving also the money from the cartels or all the organized crime, even from outside the United States, and that's why they're so protective about the criminals. One of the worst thing what they can do, remove the protection mask from the eyes, which they have to have it because of the protection of their family or even own, because if the police cannot handle, the ICE have to do. The federal agency have to take care of those criminals.
I think that's probably why, what's her face? The president of Mexico, she was against she was defending the gangs and didn't want to go against them. She's probably in their bag.
Well, one thing, the government in Mexico is very corrupt, They're receiving the money and that's why they have to protect, but I don't know how much influence the United States can do on those countries.
I'm going to go ahead and pull up another, since we're talking about the police, let's bring this up and get your guys' thoughts.
What the fuck? You gonna hit him with the car? Oh, what the fuck, bro?
What? Straight up. No, all right.
Yeah, what's your reason to stop me? You ain't even got no reason to stopping him, bro. Hey, yo, walk off, Trey. You hit the alley, yo. Go ahead, Trey. Walk off, yo. He beating. He ain't even got no reason to stop him. Hey, yo, what the fuck? You gonna hit him with the car? Yo, what the fuck, bro? Yo, hell no, yo.
I mean, you can't do that.
Hey, yo.
You can't do that.
Come back this way, yo.
So, Dad, you always say that when a cop stops you, you need to show your ID and listen, and if you resist, it makes you a crazy guy and your license should be taken away. What is your opinion on seeing this guy not give the cop his ID and then the police trying to run him over?
Well, situations sometimes, I'm not saying that all the law enforcement doing the right things, okay? But we need the law enforcement and we have to educate them more and more. And in today's, the cameras, which the mandatory for the policeman to carry, not only for the criminals protection, but also for the policeman protection. And that will help, to solve the problems. And I'm watching a lot of those police stories, and there is so many crazy people in America, that the police actually do the right thing, and the criminals getting crazy. And I believe if you become crazy, you're not supposed to have a driver license. Even the illegals coming to this country, they're not supposed to have a driver license. That's my opinion, but everybody can raise own opinion, what they think about it. That's fine, but my opinion, United States has so many lawyers, and we're supposed to be country of the law, and now the criminals are everywhere, in a government, in a political system, in
the police force.
In the police force.
Yeah, law enforcement. I mean, everybody are hungry for the money, but they have to know if you once be caught, you're losing all your future. What you can achieve in your future, being honest, do everything legal. So that's why I'm, I don't know. I came from this country. Nobody educate me, but if I got a ticket, Mostly, I got few tickets in Los Angeles where there was a parking always problem because they cleaning the 1 week one side of the street and then the other week the other side. If I forgot, boom, there is a ticket. But I didn't hesitate to pay for the ticket because I always
Breaking the
try
law,
to
all
have
those parking tickets, Dad.
yeah, I always want to have a clean record and be honest with the, as I respect this country, and I wish we come back to the really good, beautiful country like they call America. So. Okay, I would like to mention you about because everybody heard about what happened to Nord Stream pipeline on the Baltic Sea that somebody blew it out, and I don't want to say about Polish minister. He's actually vice minister in Poland. His name is Sikorski. And he blamed America for it. Well, the German actually made the investigation and found out that it was actually the Ukrainian guy who blew it out, At least he was one of them.
When did this happen? Oh, this is in August?
Well, that was
couple months
already when the Russians started the war on Ukraine. But anyway, the German made the a charge on a Ukrainian guy, and he was residing in Poland, and they took to Polish court, and Polish court let him go because they find out that they don't have enough evidence. But don't forget that Ukraine is in a war, and not only that guy should be charged for it, but we should charge first Putin for killing millions of Ukrainian people. He killing not only Ukrainian people, but he also killing Russian people. Sending them to death on Ukrainian. And in my opinion, he never gonna win. He never gonna win the war because he's the biggest criminal. Okay. And
biggest criminal in the world.
Why I'm emotional about it? Because he also killed the Polish president in 2010. In the
Never forget
place
Smolensk.
in Smolensk, yeah.
Let me see. All right, so the Nord Stream gas pipeline explosion. All right, so this was a couple months ago that this happened, but let's see what happened since you brought it up. Italian police have arrested a Ukrainian man suspected of coordinating the attacks on the Nord Stream gas pipeline in 2022. Okay, so this happened in 2022. You're right, at the start of the war. Yeah. And so this article I'm bringing up is about the arrest of who was suspected. German prosecutors on Thursday said the arrest is the first significant breakthrough of the investigation of the mysterious underwater explosion that occurred in September 2022 in the Baltic Sea. All right.
So I think the Polish court did the right thing to let him go because, I support that because he did something good for Ukraine. Not only for Ukraine, but for the Western countries, Europe. And, the thing is that pipeline was built by Russia, and they tried to use that to make money and have the money for the war against Ukraine. So Polish court was right, just let him go.
Gotcha. All right, I'm going to switch our attention over to some domestic news that came across from earlier that's kind of interesting. Video shows attempted break in gunfire at Deltona. Deltona is about an hour and a half, an hour from us.
Yeah, it's between Orlando and Daytona Beach.
Let's see if the video comes up.
Everybody knows Daytona Beach because of the car racing there. And
Daytona. That's Daytona. Daytona. Yeah, the Daytona 500.
Yeah, Daytona has an NASCAR.
Daytona or Daytona?
There's Daytona and there's Deltona, but Daytona has all that racing stuff.
Into the home. Fox 35's Chris Lindsay is
Okay,
live
move back.
video
There we go.
just into our newsroom. Take a look. It's pretty shocking. It shows 4 suspects trying to break into a house this morning in Deltona. And when they could not get inside, they started shooting into the home. Fox 35's Chris Lindsay is live in Volusia County now. So, Chris, was anyone hurt here?
Well, thankfully, no one was hurt. Regardless, this family is afraid for their lives. They just moved here recently from another state, so they have no idea who could have done this.
This is why you need ring cams.
That's why you need guns in the house.
Yeah.
Break into a Deltona home. According to the Volusia County Sheriff's Office, right after this ring footage ends, gunshots rang out, leaving the side of the house riddled with bullets. Then they took off in that car you see there, being chased on I-4 all the way into Orange County by deputies. Eventually, they lost sight of it and called off the pursuit. That's why they're asking.
I wonder why they picked this house. It looks like a regular.
Well, they said these
neighborhood.
people just moved there too from out of state, so they're fresh. So who knows what their motives were?
Chris Lindsay, Fox 35 News.
Thanks, Chris.
Welcome to Florida.
Yeah, welcome to Florida. Oh, geez. Yeah. Let me see.
When an iconic
Whoops.
brand.
Let's turn off that sound. All right. I know, Mark, you sent me a bunch of reels that we're gonna make our way through. What comes to the top of your mind? Oh, this is a pretty funny one. Let's go to our World Star corner. U.S. Coast Guard will no longer classify swastikas, nooses, and Confederate flags as hate symbols. Oh, that's
That's that's
I
weird
don't know
to me.
about that. I mean, it does make sense, and
I mean, I don't see much good coming out of that. Be like, hey guys,
Yeah.
you got a noose. Like, oh, what can be positive about this? You know, you're gonna go tie the boat down. I don't know, but
I mean, I understand more the tie the boat down with
let's
the
see, the
noose.
Coast Guard. Like, no, it's just a noose. It's cool.
But it's weird that it's coming from the Florida Coast Guard. They're saying like these are no longer like hate symbols. I see more of an argument when it's made with like the Confederate flag, but
I didn't even
it's
really
kind of
know
weird.
much about
I don't
that.
even.
When I
I
grew
don't
up in
think I
high
have an
school,
opinion.
that was very common to see that Confederate flag everywhere. You know.
Yeah, here in
But
Florida.
I mean, even the swastika, once upon a time, that was like a positive symbol until they got twisted by the Nazi Party. You know.
Yeah, that was the a Hindu symbol.
I think the swastika came like from India. Or
Yeah.
something.
India, and it was also a Buddhist thing. But if you notice, I think they flipped it around, like the directions
way,
are
yeah.
going in the other way.
They perverted it.
But I don't know, things like that is weird to me. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm okay with Antifa being labeled a terrorist group, but I equally think that like the KKK could be branded as a terrorist group. You know?
Yeah, it's the opposite ends of the same spectrum. I agree with you there. What are your thoughts about the about those symbols no longer being classified as hate
Well, for
symbols?
me, swastika, it is a bad thing because always reminds me the Germans starting the war on Poland. It's 1939, September 1st, when the Germans came to Poland and started killing the Polish people, Jewish people, So that's for me is heartbreaking. So I don't know what to think about it, but anything like Ku Klux Klan, you're saying, makes racist slogans or something like that. That's kind of sad for us because, everybody's supposed to be equal, love each other, and now all the problems, if you think about the wars like right now, that was Ukrainian and Russia, which supposed to be like brothers, and now they're killing each other. Most of the murders coming from the Russians, and I wish the Russia completely fall down. Russia cannot be any more superpower. Enough if China, India, and the United States have the power. That's good enough. We don't need Russia to be saying, and murder without any,
Russia is to lose its status as a world superpower.
Yeah. And in Russia there is 150 million, and basically pure Russian is only half. The rest of them is another nation. So.
Where does Russia rank in terms of like population? I know like U.S. is third most populated. You have India and China number 2, 1 and 2.
India is the number 1.
4
China
is Indonesia, actually.
Second, yeah. And if you come to population, United States has 350 million, but it's a big country. But if you take Indonesia, where is 150 million and a few small islands, or Japan, where is over 100 millions and also small country, that's a big population, take Pakistan, too, also is overpopulated, 150 million. So.
I think I heard that with Pakistan also, like the Pakistan immigrants, it's like disproportionate the amount of Pakistani immigrants here that are on welfare. That are on government aid programs.
One thing, the countries like from India and from Pakistan, they've been a lot of immigrants over there, but basically visiting United States, never go back to the country because they are so poor over there, There are some, like Indian dedicated a lot of goods for the America, but, when they abuse the visa, it's abusing, it's not supposed to happen like that, staying illegally, But, the problem is that previous government allowed to do illegal things like coming to the United States. You saw the Biden administration just opened the border and millions.
Come on in.
Come on in over. We got that money. We don't have money for the citizens, for the social security, but we have the money to pay for the illegal immigrants. That's what Biden saying, not me. Biden says. I just repeating what Biden says.
Don't shoot the messenger. I'm going to pull up this other, we're going to pivot and talk about marijuana laws.
Recreational marijuana back on the ballot has hit a major milestone.
8 on your side, Beth Rousseau, live in the studio with us this morning, taking a look at the latest step to get the decision in front of voters.
That's right. We're circling back to legalizing recreational marijuana. The move to get this measure on the 2026 ballot is a result of efforts by activists with Smart and Safe Florida. A lawsuit filed by the group claims the governor's administration was trying to block the issue from being put to a vote on next year's ballot. In a recent letter, Florida's Secretary of State confirmed Smart and Safe Florida has gathered hundreds of thousands of voter petitions and therefore qualified the issue to move forward and be put in front of voters. This comes after many were surprised when Floridians voted down a measure to legalize recreational marijuana back in 2024.
Oh, I remember that when that was shot down.
Well, they say voted down, but that was 56%. Right.
So what is the measure that needs to go through in order for it to pass? It needed 60%, right? It needed 60%. So it's not a majority. It's just, it has to be, it's a super majority.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, if you got 56%, I don't know why we're listening to the other side. I know DeSantis, he didn't want recreational, but he was very pro hemp.
Mm-hmm. What's the difference between like hemp and recreational?
Well, hemp technically shouldn't be getting you high. However, under the hemp laws, there's product out there that gets you very high. So, I mean, when Trump signed the Farm Bill, he accidentally, in a way, made marijuana legal. It's just a lot of loopholes and different definitions. But if you go to the store and you get something that says THCA on it, that's weed.
And there's a difference between THC and hemp.
Well, hemp is going to have THC in it.
Okay.
Hemp is technically the male plant, and then, people smoke the flower off the female plant, but they're taking ways to extract it, or they're going to call it hemp even though it's a female plant if they can give you that test lab result that tests under. Now, the loophole that they did with THC and THCA, hemp with the THCA is it doesn't become THC until you apply heat. But, you know, how do people smoke weed? Lighting it on fire.
We got
So,
Phil from Tinley Park. He's saying legalization of dope has been a huge, huge mistake.
I could see different sides to it, and there should be different regulations for it, you know, but
I think one of the main arguments is it's like a gateway drug. What are your thoughts on that?
it can be. I think it could be, but I also don't think when you give it that stigmatism, like it's like heroin or cocaine or just up there with that kind of stuff, then maybe people will like gravitate, be like, oh, you know, they lied about this, it doesn't do anything bad, or they assume that.
One day people are starting to do weed, the next day they're like shooting up heroin.
Well, I mean, maybe if they feel like, you know, they smoke so much weed, it doesn't do the trick for them no more, and they want to go to something else. Now, it could be also equally a different way. You can go someone that had a heroin problem and stopped off of it, and marijuana was the one thing that helped them get through beating that
like
addiction.
in detox centers, right?
I mean, if anything too much is bad for you at the end of the day. So, you know.
My question it is how we can protect the children from
alcohol?
If the adults start smoking
and tobacco.
Yeah, well, I remember when I was maybe I would say 12 years old, you know, on a school break, we've been going
Protect the children from Biden
and start smoking. I got so sick, you know, because I thought it was all right, you know, for smoking.
Well, what were you smoking, Dad? What were you smoking?
Well, it was a cigarette, but...
And you probably never wanted to smoke one again after that, sounds like.
Well,
now, I mean,
when
I'm
I
sure
got
some
sick
kids
after
do
that,
smoke
I didn't
it.
want to smoke, but at that time in Poland, we didn't even know what's a marijuana, you know. This came lately from from the Western country. Now in Poland, people know what's a marijuana, but at my time, we didn't know what is marijuana. So the cigarettes was very strong, you know. And
European cigarettes are
It's a part of their culture.
different.
Tobacco is, you know.
The Europeans have a different attitude.
I don't know about now, but when I lived there, it was normal that people were smoking tobacco in the workworkplace inside.
Europeans smoke so much cigarettes. So much. It's like, especially the French, they're always smoking. Like, ugh.
Well, even the cigarettes should be in a control. That's good. In America, they make very expensive, you know, stuff which, you know, like alcohol, cigarettes, which damaging your health, should be more expensive than.
It's called a syntax.
Food.
A syntax. I mean, at what point, what would you say, like people who smoke cigarettes and then the price goes up? Like what's the price of cigarettes? I don't know. I don't smoke cigarettes.
I smoked cigarettes before, and that was one of the reasons I stopped. I'm like,
when
I
you
went
moved
to
to
New
New
York. So when I lived in Florida at that time, this is what, 2015-ish, no, 2012-ish, I was paying maybe $5 a pack at that time. But then when I went to New York, it was $13, $15 a pack. And I was like, nah, I'm good. So
you're like, I'm kicking this habit.
That did motivate me to stop. And I know it's like a disgusting habit and you shouldn't be doing it anyway. But, you know, I did.
Everybody has their vices. Let's switch over to, we got some
but
stuff.
What was your question, Dad? How do you keep marijuana away from the children?
Yeah. That's what I was wondering. When
stuff a bunch of cigarettes in their mouth
in a house,
make them
and
sick.
children gonna see that they children use. I remember in my time, I thought if I smoke, then makes me more
cool,
like a man, yeah. And if
I can hang with
smoke,
the big kids.
If you smoke marijuana
Watch
in
this
a
big
house,
inhale.
how you can protect the children from?
It's, you know,
you take
same
the
thing with
camel off
everything.
of
You want to
the-
make sure your kids aren't accessing your alcohol stash, which most parents usually just have a bar. It's not sealed away. It's just sitting on the shelf, right? Teenagers get into their parents' alcohol. Now, I do say find a way to keep it out of the kids' hands, maybe educate them on what it is, but, you know, keep it out of their hands equally. Like the medicine that they receive from the doctor, those pills, those are way more dangerous to the kids. Make sure those aren't ending up to the kids. And then, you know, you got a lot of kids in school now that are into pills. And
Florida actually has a big pill problem.
It's had a big pill problem. And, you know, even there's a lot of fake pills that are going around today. How many people are dying from these fake pills? And that's why Trump's big on, stopping all this cartel shit, so we'll see what happens. But definitely, yeah, I'm not saying, keep it right where the kids can access it. Anyone can get a safe. Also keep it in there. That off rip will eliminate that. But, definitely keep it away from the kids. I'm not for, giving kids marijuana or anything like that. But I think it can be regulated just as much as, tobacco and other things. So,
Phil from, let me bring up Phil's comment. It was people walking around downtown out in the open smoking dope. I don't want children exposed to that. I mean, like in places where it's decriminalized.
When he says dope, I'm wondering, do you mean marijuana? Are you talking about fentanyl and heroin? Because you go to different states and people are smoking like heroin in the streets and stuff like that, and it's legal, decriminalized. I think even in Denver, it's like decriminalized.
I know, like
Portland.
When I'm walking around New York, I could smell marijuana everywhere. I hated that. Like, it's just as a non-smoker, it's just like the smell of it being everywhere.
I think there's ways to regulate it. I think they could definitely even decide, hey, no smoking in public. Right now, you have medical marijuana in Florida. You're not allowed to be smoking it in public. People are going to do it, but at that time, yeah, go ahead and fine them or do something like that. But at least, find a way to regulate it. Be like, it's only permitted. And you go to like Las Vegas, for example, it's only permitted in private residence, So things can definitely be addressed in that. Every state is different with it.
Something like in Amsterdam, where they have those
coffee shops.
And they keep smoking. I think that would be okay.
Yeah, you could definitely keep it contained. I'm not saying it has to be, you smoke it everywhere, because I'm sure it's not for everyone. No, not everyone wants to smell it. So sure, but equally don't be having people behind bars over it.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull up an article or some video footage that we got from BG on the Scene, Brendan. So we're switching topics over to the Dearborn protest that happened on Tuesday.
Our people, we'll show them what's up. Muhammad was a pedophile and a rapist.
So he's burning the Quran, Dad. I mean, if they're burning the American flag, people are getting more mad about them burning the Quran than they are about the American flag. Let's see this outrage when they burn the American flag.
Our people, we'll show them what's up. Muhammad was a pedophile.
I mean, I'd be pretty mad if I saw the American flag being burned or the Bible being burned. So it is a freedom of speech to be burning a Quran, but
I think you could just find a different way to communicate your message. Like, I don't know.
Maybe not be burning a Quran or the Torah or the Bible. I mean, the point of protesting is to be using your freedom of speech to incite. But I mean, if you're going to be burning something, be sure you're the correct distance away from a building, because then it's not freedom of speech. You're actually committing a crime, like arson crime. Like, you can't be burning stuff close to. There's some laws about it. I burned an Antifa flag once. So, but before I even burned the Antifa flag, I walked up to the police officer and I asked for what are the parameters. I asked what were the laws for burning the flag, and she just sees me with the lighter, the fluid, and an Antifa flag. I'm in DC, and they're
Excuse me,
like,
officer, I need your help.
Excuse me, officer, how can I legally do this? And she just looked at me like, oh no.
I need a raise.
She's like, not one of these kind of nights.
Well, freedom of speech has some limitation too. Don't forget that we cannot overdo it. And, for the Muslim, the Quran is very
sacred
holy book, So we don't want to
Accelerate, yeah.
Escalate.
Escalate.
Yeah. things, and we know that we have a lot of Muslims in this country. I think that before the Swedish, in Sweden, they burned the Quran, and then Turkey got upset about it.
Yeah, that was a big thing.
Yeah, when
Impact international relations there.
when Sweden tried to join the NATO, Turkey says, "Oh no, you burned the Quran. We're not gonna let you join the NATO." But eventually, they make a deal, and Sweden joined the NATO. So the thing is, we have to improve the relation. And I know the Muslim sometimes are worse than we are. Okay, and we should actually teach the Muslim how to live in a peace, not.
To integrate into American society if they're going to become American citizens and stuff. I guess even though there are a lot of points for Islam that I stand against and I don't agree with and everything, I'm not going to be in support of burning the Quran either, because I have a lot of Muslim friends and everything that don't fall into the category of what we think of as a bad Muslim, and so they would be, of course, very hurt by the sight of a burned Quran, the same way I would be hurt by the sight of a burned Bible and everything. So it's not something I personally would support.
Well, same thing. I am Christian Catholic, and I'm not that much practitioner, but I wouldn't like it when somebody burned the Bible. I never even know what's in the Bible. Never read about it, but I heard that.
Very good Catholic, Dad.
Yeah, but I knowing that much that there is a Bible and is something has to do with the Christian or Catholics. I wouldn't like when the Muslim would burn the Bible.
Yeah.
That would be very offended to me.
Yeah. You're going to start quite the religious war there. Oh, so Chris is saying that they were also beating the Quran with bacon. Oh boy. That Dearborn sounds like a very spicy protest a couple of days ago. Have you seen what's going on in Charlotte? Actually, yeah, that was one of the next articles I was going to bring up. Mark, you sent me the article from Charlotte, right?
Somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. Let me pull that up.
See whatever happening in America with the protesters and something like that. People shouldn't waste that much time. They should concentrate on things what they can do for the country, not what the country can do for them.
Oh, that sounds like a familiar quote.
Yeah, that's familiar from John Kennedy, right?
Ask not what you can do for the country. Or, sorry, other way around. Ask not what the country can do for you. Ask what you can do for the country.
Yeah.
That's the old Democrat Party, not to be confused with the Democrat Party of today.
It's funny because we were all Democrats. I think we're all still registered
Yeah,
Democrats.
we're all still registered Democrats in this house. I'm a registered Democrat. Dad's a registered
John
Democrat.
Kennedy was the big patriot. I see he was similar to Donald Trump now. And I have always him in my heart. Even when I heard that they killed John Kennedy, I was in Poland, probably 14 years old. And I never heard about John Kennedy, but somebody came and he says, "Hey guys, they just killed the President Kennedy." I didn't know who that guy was, but I was so sad, I went to my home and said, "Mom, they killed John Kennedy." "Who was that?" Mom asked me. "I don't know."
But I think he's an important man in America.
Yeah.
That was tragic,
big
though.
patriot and best president, And thanks God we have something like that now as a Donald Trump.
We need another Kennedy.
Another Kennedy.
We need another Kennedy. That'd be cool. Why can't the Democratic Party come up with that as a candidate? If they had another JFK, they might get my vote again.
The funny thing to this time, nobody wants to say who was the real killer of John Kennedy. Or Martin Luther King, who was the real killer.
We'll see also who comes out as the real killer for Charlie Kirk as well. There's a lot of conspiracy theories that are floating around, some things that don't add up, but we won't get into that in this episode. All right, let's see what's going on in Charlotte.
More than 200 people are under arrest in a major ICE operation in Charlotte, North Carolina. DHS says they all have criminal records. Madison Scarpino joins us from Charlotte. What more do we know about these people?
Good morning, Stuart. Well, according to Border Patrol, many of them are accused of crimes like assault, gang affiliation, and drunk driving. So there are a lot of people in support of Operation Charlotte's Web, but there is also a lot of pushback. Right now, I'm standing in front of a local Latino bakery that the owner is temporarily closing because he says immigration officials are targeting his customers. And take a look at what went down here last night. A group of protesters gathered. You can see a car doing donuts in the middle of the road, people waving flags, signs, and chanting in support of this bakery and also against the operation. The bakery owner says he's worried for his business and he's scared.
There's an amount of fear and a lot of fear. Nobody wants to know that a child is losing their father or their mother.
But we have seen some heated confrontations, and some have turned dangerous. Border Patrol agents arresting this individual who allegedly jumped a curb and sped their car towards agents. DHS says they eventually rammed their car into those agents, and this is the second time it's happened this week, according to DHS. Secretary Noem says these officers are just trying to make the streets safer and are putting themselves in danger.
The individuals that are out there protesting these law enforcement officers, and also the individuals that are out there attacking them, not just trying to stop them from arresting individuals, but trying to stop them from doing their work, trying to harm them, trying to kill them. And those, I'm grateful that they aren't successful.
No word yet on how long this operation will last here in Charlotte. Stuart.
All right, thanks very much, Madison.
I mean, if they're targeting people who...
at least if happen on the donuts store, people...
There's a bakery. They were just doing donuts in front of the bakery.
Donuts are not that healthy, so they're making good for people, you know. They save them from the donuts.
Dad, the car was doing donuts. You know what a donut is?
No.
It's when your car spins in circles like this.
Yeah, the car was making donuts. I'm sure the
bakery.
bakery makes donuts too, but the car was making donuts.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the real donuts that, because they saying on the front of the bakery.
I haven't had a donut in a while.
I ate before a lot of donuts, and now I stopped because I think that affects my stomach or whatever, my health. So.
Yeah, Dad's favorite is the discounted donuts from Walmart. Like we brought him like fancy donuts before because Dad likes donuts, and you can't have like the fancy gourmet donuts. It has to be the discounted donuts from Walmart, and they have to be on discount, otherwise they're not as good. I had a bagel earlier today. I was quite happy about that as well. Let me see. Oh, I just realized the time. We're going to segment to our very last part of this evening. You guys know what that means. It's Polish news. See what's going on in Polish news.
In a way, I want to also salute Elon Musk and Donald Trump for doing the best thing for America. And I will remind you about John Kennedy words. Don't think what the country can do for you. Do something for the country. And that's what Elon Musk doing and Donald Trump.
Great American heroes. Great American patriots.
Very, very patriotic to people.
All right. So, Polish ambassador attacked in Russia. Dad, have you heard about this in the news?
Yeah, I heard that about it. And the actually reason was because there was... the Russian ambassador was also kicked out from Poland, and that was probably retaliation on the Polish ambassador in Moscow. Anyway, we don't need embassy in Russia. You know, they I don't know, you know. I'm not against Russian people. Don't think I am against, but the politics in Russia it's so bad. I can compare them to the Nazi Germany. And Putin is like a Hitler.
Yes. So, all right, Polish ambassador attacked in Russia. Poland's ambassador to Russia
Krzysztof Krajewski
has been attacked in St. Petersburg by a group of protesting Polish support for Ukraine. The incident took place on Sunday, the same day that the sabotage of the train line was discovered in Poland, but before the Polish government had declared Russia to be responsible for it. That's that in Polish, so we'll skip over that part. Krajewski, who has been ambassador since 2021, has been visiting the Catholic Church of St. Catherine in St. Petersburg for a service to in Polish to celebrate Poland's Independence Day, which had fallen a few days earlier on November 11th. On his way to the church, the ambassador was surrounded by an aggressive group of protesters carrying banners with anti-Polish and anti-Ukrainian slogans, writes the Gazette Daily, which was the first to report of the incident on Thursday. The group verbally criticized Krajewski for Poland's support for Ukraine before, at one point, several of them attempted to strike the ambassador, says the newspaper. That prompted a response from the Polish State Protection Service officers who have constantly accompanied where was his security, especially in Russia, accompanied the ambassador since the worsening of the relations with Moscow in the wake of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. It was the most serious incident of its kind in many years, an unnamed foreign ministry source told the Gazette. Only the intervention of the security guards prevented the ambassador from being beaten. The ministry's spokesman, Maciej Vevior, confirmed to the newspaper that the incident had taken place. An aggressive group with banners wanted to move from verbal assault to physical assault, but were stopped by the State Protection Services, he said, on Wednesday during a meeting with the Russian charge d'affaires. I don't know why there's French in there. The Polish side expressed its outrage, added Vevior. In response, we were told that such situations should not occur. Wednesday's meeting took place because the Polish Foreign Ministry was handing a formal notice from the Russians ordering them to close their consulate in Gdansk in response to Moscow's latest act of sabotage in Poland. Previously, Russia's consulate in Poznan and Krakow were closed for similar reasons. The one in Gdansk, we've been there, had been the last one operating in Poland. Now only the Russian embassy in Warsaw will remain. In response to the accusations that it's behind the rail sabotage, the Russian government has accused Poland of
Russophobia.
Oh, okay, that's an English word. Russophobia. It has also pledged to take reciprocal measures in response to the closure of the Gdansk consulate. So they're going to be closing each other's consulate. Yep. What are your thoughts on the attack, Dad?
Well, you know, when there is a war going, there are always going to be problems on both sides. We don't like Russian don't like us, you know. Poland supporting Ukraine and Russian don't like that, you know. The Russian always going to steer the problems between Ukrainian and Poland, you know. Don't forget that Ukraine was like one country with Poland before, you know, so we have a lot of common. The Russians think that Ukraine and Russia was like one country before, you know, so. But right now, Ukraine start being sovereign country, and I think the Russian make big mistake attacking the Ukraine. They should look for a friend, how to make a friends. You know, it's better to have 1,000 friends than one enemy. You know, like President Trump tried to make a lot of friends. You know, he traveled all over, either to Asia.
That's good. That's because Trump's smart. You keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Friends, not for the enemies.
All right.
Russia will be in a big trouble for that, so, the karma will get them anyway.
Yeah. All right, guys, that brings us to the close of this evening. Thanks again for joining us here on the Polish-American Brotherhood. Mark, thanks for being in studio with us. We're still trying to get the older brother to join us. Maybe we'll put some tariffs. We'll put some tariffs on Philip until he joins us. Sanctions. Dad, are you going to put some sanctions on Philip until he joins us on the program?
No pierogi for Thanksgiving until you're on the show.
We're going to put a tariffs on Philip, maybe make him understand that,
You made pork chops today, so no pork chops for Phil.
No kielbasa.
No kielbasa.
We are always actually not laughing, but we have a different point of view.
Phil's a raging liberal, so we would love to have him on the show.
And we're conservative, we support Trump, and I don't know if he support Biden or whoever.
Oh, he definitely
Democrats,
supported Biden.
So we want to, a little bit expose him to the media.
Yeah, so, all right, going back to wrapping it up, thanks for joining us here on the Polish-American Brotherhood. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment down below. It really helps the algorithm as we're trying to grow the channel. Finally, we're kind of being smooth now without having technical issues, so we can concentrate on bringing you guys excellent programming, getting more in-house guests, having Mark join us whenever he's available, eventually have my older brother available so we can have a liberal to pick on the show. Just kidding, Phil, if you're watching this show, we really want you to be on. Dad, any closing remarks?
Thank you very much for being with us, and we love you guys. I want to say thank you to my son Mark and my daughter Tara for
at least you have one good son, right?
Creating this program for you guys, and hopefully, we're gonna be better and better till we're gonna achieve what we want.
Any closing remarks from the good son?
Keep up the good work.
From patriotic Barky over there.
He's sleeping like usual.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys heard him snoring because I saw it being picked up on the microphone as it was going up and down with his breathing. But patriotic Barky over there. Oh, yep. See here, you can hear him now. Again, thanks for joining us. Like, share, subscribe.
And greetings to our President Trump.